Welcome back to Collected Works, where we're talking about the works of Kate Bush. We just played you a couple of songs from her album, Hounds of Love. Now we are on to the next album, The Sensual World.
And might want to note that when it's the sensual world, it's not a sexual sensual, but sensual as in all the senses, feel and
Hmm.
touch. That's the same one. You know what I mean.
Feel and touch.
Yeah. Yeah, this is 19, we're up to 1989. So we were 4 years between the last album and this one.
To me, it almost feels like a different world from Hounds of Love, which Hounds of Love feels a lot more like I feel like those first three or four albums are very then. Then there's Hounds of Love, and then there's post Hounds. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but
I don't know. I kind of lump Hounds of Love more together with this half than the
really.
other. Yeah.
Well, I kind of put it in its own. But anyway, this album, unfortunately to me, even though I love almost every song on it, sounds very dated. I
See, I
think
don't
it's
see that.
because, well, she was trying to be on the cutting edge, so she was trying a lot of things and techniques that like were new. So it's not that unreasonable that they were so new. It's like George Lucas with the Star Wars prequels, you know? He wanted to use all that CGI because it was new and exciting,
Yeah.
but now it's dated.
Everybody hates it.
But I do really like this album. I think this was the first one that I like really wanted to have for some reason. I say for some reason I wanted to use songs on Doctor and Rose fan mixes for sure. Um, was so definitely a big part of it. One of the standout tracks on here to me though was Heads Were Dancing, which we were just talking about all of her strange storytelling, songwriting,
Yeah, that's a very unusual one.
and yeah. So Heads Were Dancing is the story of a lady who goes out dancing and she has a really good time,
She dances
and
with this
yeah,
strange guy who comes up to her, and
turns out he's Hitler.
later she sees his picture in the papers, and like, that can't be you. That's Hitler.
So I love the story writing on that one. What you got a couple of picks, or you wanna let me
Um,
keep talking until you?
no, I was just gonna say Robert Smith. They must have interviewed him about his favorites. He chose this album as his favorite album of the year, and The Sensual World as his favorite single of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the best thing about the '80s was all of Kate Bush.
It makes sense. She's kind of like his wife is literally the female Robert Smith, but like musically, I mean,
There was a video thing. She actually did a whole video thing for this album.
oh, I've never
The
seen
best,
all of
yeah,
that. I do
most
want
of
to
the
comment
songs and stuff.
because we referenced a little bit this woman's work earlier.
Hmm.
So that one was used in what movie?
She's having a baby.
So it was used as a big dramatic
Yeah,
song in
with
that
the
movie.
point where she's having the baby and there's like some kind of medical issue, and
It's a very dramatic song, and
your father still can't listen to it.
yeah, it's been used in a lot of scenes. Most notably, recently, season two of The Handmaid's Tale opened on this woman's work,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's been used in a lot of stuff.
it's kind of it's kind of become like a feminist anthem. At least, I mean, that was definitely the interpretation in Handmaid's Tale was like, hey, look at all the struggles these ladies are going through.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, that kind of got a little bit of a boost after The Handmaid's Tale, for sure.
Yeah, it was all these false starts, and then Stranger Things came along.
Exactly. My favorite one, I really love Love and Anger on this one.
I like that one too.
And I think that's probably the one I'm gonna
I
pick
think that's the
because
first one that I heard off of this album, but I think I like Reaching Out.
Reaching Out,
Yeah,
that's probably the one I know the least off of this album.
really.
Yeah.
You probably know it if you heard it, because there's a lot of the titles
I'm not saying
sometimes
I
don't
literally don't
give
know
you. Well,
it, but I'm saying like it's probably the one I'm least familiar with. But so let's listen to Reaching Out and I almost said Heads Were Dancing. Reaching Out and Love and Anger from the Sensual World.